I have said many times that video game conventions to me are less and less and less about going and searching for big deals or finding some kind of grail to add to my collection, and significantly more about the fact that these are big family reunions. And that really, really got hit home with SEGE this year. So I was a guest at the Southeast Game Exchange, which takes place in Greenville, South Carolina. It's my first time as a guest. I really appreciate Austin and the entire team for having me out. It was absolutely a dream come true and a wonderful show that I legit cannot wait to go back to again. Whether I'm a guest or not, I will be going back next year for Southeast Game Exchange. What was initially going to be just a trip down for the show, we actually took some extra vacation time and turned it into a family vacation. We took my father-in-law down, and it was awesome. And in the discovery of getting down there to take him down, we discovered that, you know, my aunt and uncle live down there as well, and I haven't seen them in a few years. And they only live a half hour apart. Like, in all of North Carolina, there are two towns, like, right on top of each other. And yeah, we just headed 30 minutes down the road, and I haven't seen them since I left Florida 8 years ago, and it was pretty exciting to be able to pop in and see my uncle's racing rig. He is also a gamer. He plays on the Xbox One, and this is him showing off his driving rig. He plays hardcore driving sims. Now, those are not my kind of thing. I'm more into things like Mario Kart and stuff like that, but he is in there and just playing these fantastic simulation games on his amazing rig, and he even got Victor to sit down and play Forza for a little while. It was just awesome to be able to spend some time with them and to be able to see them and have that gaming experience. You know, there's one theme that really carried through this entire show. It was that games really do bring people together, and that was very much the case on this whole shindig. After we had lunch with them and we spent a few hours with them, we headed down the road to South Carolina. My wife and I stayed at an Airbnb up near Spartanburg, which is about a half hour away from Greenville. And it was awesome. It was on a active farm, which is pretty cool. We got to see all kinds of animals and see all the different crops they're growing, and it was just a wonderful opportunity to be a guest in their home. And we had basically the entire master suite to ourselves, which was amazing. But the next morning I woke up and headed down the road to Greenville, South Carolina, and the Southeast Game Exchange. I met up with my friends Justin and John Hancock for breakfast, and it was great to be able to spend some time with them. John was busy all weekend, so I didn't get to talk to him as much as I normally do or would like to, but it was nice to be able to spend a little bit of time with him in kind of the quiet times of the morning where there wasn't a bunch of people around. I wasn't worried about selling games or having to be on a panel or anything like that. It was just a good opportunity to be there.
I have something for you.
So you did bring it?
I did.
Okay. You guys, we'll have to do video maybe later. But
oh, yeah. Video's happening right now.
Oh.
I'm doing this now while...
You gonna send this to me?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so what do you do?
So, sticking with the theme, if you guys don't remember, the illustrious Mr. Hancock here sent me dog football.
I'm his crappy gift.
Dog football. Oh yeah, and Jerry Rice.
Jerry
Rice
and Nidus. Nidus didn't deserve that.
No.
He did not deserve that game to have his name on it. But I have brought you what I've been told is truly an awful sight. And I picked this up at Live Action Games in Champaign, Illinois.
LAG217 on Facebook and Twitter.
That's right. And this game, sticking with the Wii, because I mean, if we're gonna go awful, we might as well stick with the Wii.
Yeah.
This is Sushi Go Round from Mini.
Oh, I've never heard of this. We've never played it.
It is yours.
Oh.
I look forward to a full review.
Oh, you know it's a quality title when it's South Peak Games. you know that's quality.
And I do think that is from me trading into Live
Oh,
Action
is it
Games.
really? Oh, fantastic.
Because I got that in a Video Games Monthly box.
Oh,
excellent.
This is going to be a video.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, everybody? I am here at Southeast Game Exchange, and I have already run into some friends. I've already spoken to the immortal John Hancock. I've seen Eric and Jared from Retro Gaming Pandemic, and Matt. And it's awesome. I got to meet Mort. Are you kidding me? This is great. I am on the quest for one game on this trip. I'm looking for Suikoden 5 on the PlayStation 2. We're going to see how we do.
Good, just man, chaos, because we're selling this year. Oh. Yeah, and so that's all I've been doing for the last 3 weeks is getting ready for this, and then it took us 4 hours to set up yesterday, so.
Togepi! That's so cool. These are so cool. I love the Mankey one. That's great. That's my friend Han. It's my favorite booth. This is so cool.
That is cool.
I kind of need
3D
this.
printed?
Yeah. I kind of need this for my Mega Man shrine, I think. That's pretty great. You know, it's a good convention when there's all kinds of cool stuff, but you find your favorite Canadians and you get to sign their head, which I appreciate Scott for being a good sport about that.
Might not be so happy tonight.
I understand. I understand.
There's beer for that.
That's true.
Beer
drinking
solves
free.
all problems. You drank 3 glasses.
I know, I did. I wouldn't even be able to finish one and somebody give me another one. I'm like, dude.
Well, you're Canadian, you had to put it. You got that right there.
And there's Dennis. Dennis is over there.
While I'm thinking of it, I'll price you real quick. What's that? So while I'm thinking of it, I'll price you real quick.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, fantastic. Love it. You know, this legitimately never gets old.
The best thing about it now is that now there's 2 legal means of being able to play this game now with the Genesis Mini 2, and now it is available. It just literally dropped like I think 2 weeks ago on Nintendo Switch Online. So now it's like if you have that, please experience Senti. And if you're on the beach and consider Senti, keep an eye out for a certain blue mascot.
This is for you guys, by the way.
Aww, thank you.
Yeah.
Did you have it with you or did you find it?
I found it.
Did you? Because I was
Because we couldn't find it.
Yeah, I found it.
Ah, well, you guys signed it.
I will.
Okay.
I just wanted you guys to have it. So.
Well, I want that.
I'm Mort. This is what's going to happen. I've got an amazing thing to sell you that you can then sell your friends and make money, and then they can sell to their friends and they can make money. We have to cut it slightly short because the next people got to get in here. So tech support can get the game out. Give it up one more time for tech support. And guys, now to the important moment that we've all been waiting for. Barbie Horse Adventures on the Nintendo Wii. How would you go? I'm going to say it's gold.
Yes! Awesome. We have plenty of customizations. Okay.
All right. Very good answer.
I appreciate it.
Yes. I agree with Coach Brett here. I feel like there's a lot of difference. Okay. Is it gold? All right, 2 golds. Wow, this is shocking. That's gold. All right. Who wants to bargain with me?
Give it to Lily.
All right, so back in the Airbnb after the first day of Southeast Game Exchange, and what an experience. I looked like hot death, and it was worth it. Magnificent first day. Can't wait to go back tomorrow. One of my favorite things about today is that I was smart enough to bring my 3DS with me. Street Pass, baby. This is something I've never seen and that Meredith covets greatly. That's so cool. Yeah, all this stuff is cool. We got Spider-Man, we got G.I. Joe, whatever, but this is where it's at. That's amazing. I want them both. You know, one thing I forgot to mention real quick that is never going to get old doing these conventions is that I get to sign 3 copies of Henry Hatsworth and the Puzzling Adventure This Go. I signed one for John from Biddy Kong's Quest, I signed one for Mode Designs, and I signed one for Scott and Jen from Retro Rivals. It was just eternally one of the coolest things that I will ever do at any of these shows is signing something I worked on. If you are a fan of content creators, if you are a fan of retro gaming, you absolutely have to go to a show. Because while it's great to be able to go to all these vendors and look at all of the wares that they carry, and there's definitely stuff to be found and amazing stuff to be picked up, the people that you meet and the people that you will get to know that are the people that aren't maybe in front of the camera as much are... they're the reason you're going to keep going back. Like, I remember when I went to my first show. The first gaming show I went to was the Midwest Gaming Classic in 2021. I was terrified. I was not expecting to enjoy it. I was worried that the people that I was going to meet weren't going to be the people I saw in front of the camera, and I was right. They weren't. They were better. Each and every single one of them was better than the people I saw on camera because they were unique, they were genuine, they honestly cared about the people that watched their stuff, and I was treated like an equal and treated like a friend. And if you go to a show, I can guarantee you there's going to be situations where you might see someone that you haven't spoken to before and they might be a little awkward or they might be a little uncomfortable because it is tough to talk to people you've never met before, but once that ice is broken and you've spoken to them for a little while, it's the people are great and they're the reason you're going to keep going to the shows. And I can't wait to go back. I will say one of the things I realized when I got to the show, and I noticed this, I didn't notice it, I realized it immediately as I pulled in at the convention center, which meant it was a little too late to go back and take care of. The problem was I didn't bring any of my giveaway stuff to the show. I remembered to bring Mort's shirt, I remembered to bring the game for John Hancock, but I sure didn't remember to bring my trading cards or my stickers or any of my Square Peg swag for anybody else. So I apologize for that. Y'all can be expecting some stuff down the road. It was... yeah, oops. Sorry. I also didn't get to speak to Gamer Aimer at all. She was always seemed really busy when I saw her at the show. I didn't want to interrupt her family time. She was there with her fiance, and I got to see her panel though, and it was awesome, and I can't wait to see her down the road because she's just such a lovely human being and does such great content. Like, I admire her so much for the hard work she puts in and just how prolifically she puts stuff out. It's constant. It's incredible to watch. I really enjoyed her panel. It was a lot of fun. But every convention has pickups, and I am here to talk about the pickups because there are some notable things that I got this year, and really excited for it. Now, not a huge pile of stuff, but definitely some awesome things. So first things first, I got something from Gary from Rock Solid Productions. Gary's a good friend of mine. I actually helped him find a copy of Tempest 2000 on the Jaguar while I was there, but he gave me a display stand for some N64 cartridges, which I'm really excited about. I love this. I'm excited to put this on the display. It'll be right behind me later this week, so you'll be able to see this on all future videos going forward. But you should check out his 3D printer site. Link is in the description below. Gary does amazing work. And yeah, just excited to have this. And 3D printing is kind of the theme of the day for this show. There was some really cool stuff that I picked up. As mentioned, I got to meet Awazram, and I got a dust sleeve from Awazram, which currently houses my one and only Sega Master System card. Really excited to have that. But the thing I really appreciate, he knows I'm a fan of baseball. We've talked baseball in the past, and he saw that I was wearing a Savannah Bananas hat in previous videos, and he said he had to correct that, and that the hat would be sizzling. I had no idea what he was talking about, but having been given a Macon Bacon hat, now I know. This is a nice look, and I do really love this hat. I was just tickled that he gave this to me. This is such a cool hat, and I love that he brought this for me. Like, just super cool. I got to meet Drinking Games with Josh. Josh is a wonderful guy, and I got a dust sleeve from Josh. This is one of the 3D ones. Video Games Dust Sleeve does amazing work. Check out their link on screen below. It's just super cool work, and I think it looks great. But it wasn't just the dust sleeve I got from him. Oh no. It is, after all, Drinking Games with Josh, which means there's probably going to be a little bit of drinking going on, if you know what I mean. And I got a badass flask, which, yeah, kind of love it. Kind of love it, not gonna lie. With the dust sleeve, I also got a Drinking Games with Josh sticker, which will be going on the NES. If you guys don't know the NES is something that I have, where I put stickers of all my favorite content creators. And Josh, again, one of my favorite people, one of my favorite creators, really just stoked to have this. It'll definitely be going on here, along with some other stickers that I have as well. Next up, I mentioned my friend John from Biddy Kong's Quest. John 3D printed something pretty incredible for me that will be having a place of eternal just position in my game room here. I'm a big fan of Chrono Trigger, one of my favorite Square RPGs, and John 3D printed me a Chrono Trigger clock. Yeah, it works. It's amazing. It's going to be hung up. Once I get everything rearranged, it'll be right above my desk. I kind of love it. It's kind of perfect. He also, and I did not know this until I got home, he 3D printed me this Banjo-Kazooie style square peg sign. John, thank you so much, dude. Like, I can't thank you enough. Like, I feel so rotten that I didn't bring stuff for people. But to be able to have this stuff and to have, you know, these amazing gifts given to me, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I also got stickers from Retro Rivals, from Mondane Designs. I don't know where they are right now. They're still packed away, but they'll be out eventually and going on the NES. But there was something I did add for the Mega Man Shrine. Now, I was on the lookout specifically for Mega Man 1, but I only found one person selling Mega Mans 1 through 6 for $400. And since I already have 2 through 6, I didn't really see the need of spending $400 on one game, but I did find something to go on the Mega Man Shrine, and yeah, it's a 3D printed Game Boy cartridge, and I think this looks incredible. I've seen these at a few shows, and I've always kind of hesitated to pull the trigger on them, but I was weak on this show. And the woman I bought it from lived in Boston for a while, so we chatted about the Red Sox, and we talked about just living in Massachusetts, and yeah, I thought it was cool. Next up, I got a Super Nintendo game that I didn't even know existed until this weekend. I had never seen it before, had never heard of it before, had no idea it was a thing, but this is Street Hockey 95. It's a hockey game, and I love hockey. I have no idea if it's good. It's probably going to be atrocious, but I own it. My quest to own every single hockey game ever made continues. Next up, while the game's a little beat up and the label's kind of crappy and I can kind of replace this down the road, I saw one of my favorite NES games and it was pretty cheap, so I decided to pull the trigger on it. This is Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. This is actually my personal favorite Castlevania. I was really excited to see it for under $10, so really couldn't complain about that. Very, very stoked to have this one. But the big one, you guys saw at the start what the goal for this particular convention was to find Suikoden 5. And I saw it at a few vendors. All of them were well overbooked. But I did find a copy. Which means I now own every single Suikoden game released in the United States with the exception of the upcoming remaster of 1 and 2, which I will own. And there'll be a Suikoden shelf eventually behind me. And while that could be the end of the experience, there was a situation that happened our last night in North Carolina where we borrowed a Switch dock from Gary from Rock Solid Productions. He brought it to us from Illinois. And we brought it back to my wife's aunt and uncle's house, and we played Switch Sports. And it was pretty amazing to see 3 generations be playing a game together. My wife's father and her aunt and uncle, my wife, and I, and Victor, his great aunt and uncle and his grandfather, were all playing Switch Sports together. We all bowled together, we did sword fighting together, and it just kind of really underscored how well games bring people together and how important they are. You know, for a lot of people, this is just a hobby. And for me, I mean, that is what it is, but it's an important hobby. You know, I don't want to kind of make it all too flowery or anything like that, but there are so many people that I've met in my life because of games now that I can't ignore that. Whether it's amazing people like Scott, Jen, and Dennis, or even some of my former coworkers at EA, or being able to meet Mort and talk to him, talking about libraries with Mundane Designs, or talking to Kevin from Game On Network, or my friends Jared and Eric, and being able to congratulate Jared on a milestone he recently achieved. Those are all because of video games. None of that would have happened if it wasn't for this channel or wasn't for video games. And in particular at this show, if it wasn't for Austin inviting me. I seriously can't thank him enough. The entire experience was incredible. It was a show that is now near and dear to my heart, and something that I just cannot tell you enough how much I loved. You have a great show, Austin. You have done incredible work and made something absolutely special in Greenville, South Carolina, and I cannot wait to return. Let me know in the comments down below if you were at SEGE. There were so many people that I didn't get a chance to talk to. I saw Jay, the NES addict, at one point in Mort's panel, but I never saw him again. There were some people that I didn't get to spend enough time with, like Mundane, like Josh, like the boys from Retro Gaming Pandemic. I see them at every show, and I never remember to take a damn photo. There were so many people that I just didn't get a chance to say hi to. If you did say hi and I didn't call you out here, Eric, I hope you found your game. If you didn't, let me know. I'll be on the lookout for it up here, and we'll hook up at a show down the road. Just such a great experience, top to bottom. Until next time, folks, I've been Jay. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. Remember, play more games, stay square, go to a game convention. I'll talk to you soon.